and over and over, and every time DoubleLift says, yes, I can adapt, I can play Sivir, I can play low econ. He wants to break that image that people have of him of being that always farming bot, always very selfish AD carry, and he has been able to play multiple styles. So I think that TSM will be able to adapt. Can they adapt in their first game here, first competitive game? Yet to be seen.
It is yet to be seen. We hear a lot of, man, these guys' scrims are going super well. These guys are doing awesome right now. But every time it gets to this stage, things are tempered. Everything becomes a little bit more measured, and you don't see the crazy plays you do in scrims. See what they have for each other here. Picks and bans going to be starting out. The bans right now, Fiora, Olaf, Kench, and Rise, as we get that back on your screen in just a moment.
Yeah.
Darshan says he's not too scared of what's going to come out of the hands of Team SoloMid, known to be a carry towards the end of last season for the team and really stepped up for them. So still looking at the top lane to come up big here for CLG.
Yeah, Hauntzer himself, had some carry games as well.
That's right.
So TSM definitely multi-threat, and we'll see what they get in the draft. That should probably determine which lane they want to go to here. Lulu's still in the draft.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
Has made it all the way through. There are quite a few things to go after here. Now, Corki is definitely a flex ban as well. We've seen it, in the mid lane as well. Does a lot more magic damage now than previously. Let's see what junglers are. Oh, that's a very quick lock in there for TSM. Elise right off the bat. Early game. Now, there are so many early game junglers now that are actually strong currently. Kindred and Graves being thrown into the mix.
It's so awesome right now. I love the variety that's available in the lanes.
The thing is, for me,
and the jungle.
Whenever we saw so much success from CLG, most recently it was when Xmithie was on a Cinderhulk jungler, mainly Gragas. He also had some really good Cinderhulk Echo games.
Yep.
But, Cinderhulk Echo was nerfed, and Gragas a bit out of it now with the rise of all these early game damage junglers. So maybe Xmithie returns to his Lee Sin days and tries to make some early plays.
Hopefully it could be a season for him to kind of shine like that. He's been more of a reserve jungler. We used to see him on the Nasus back in the days and whatnot, being very careful with his play, being a tank for the team, and doing what they need.
Well, there you have it. There's your answer. Probably going to be a Cinderhulk Rek'Sai. You still can go with the warrior, but I think that is a good choice. Keep Xmithie on the Cinderhulk jungle, have him be the tank, let Darshan do some damage. Lissandra's definitely a champion that's very, very popular in Korea and kind of spread all over the world, but people were thinking that maybe the North American top laners are going to be kind of slow to pick it up. Looks like they were just hiding it and waiting for competitive games to start.
I don't see why not. She's been finding, as he said, picks and bans across the world in every region so far that we've seen play. Lulu has been picked up. We mentioned that wasn't on the list and has found herself on the ban list quite a few times in the past few weeks in competitive play. TSM seems to be getting what they want so far. Nice and easy composition. Doesn't look like they've had to give anything up.
Yeah, Lulu actually being switched off here. Definitely a strong pick to go with Tristana. Maybe they'll pick it up later in the draft, but TSM are going to jump on that Trist very quickly. Now, since the game, to me, has been really shifting towards tower focus and away from a lot of the neutral objectives, I feel like siege teams and split push teams have really come to rise, and the team fighting comps have sort of dropped off a little here. So, Tristana being the demolitionist, being the one to take down turrets very quickly. If you get through the outer turrets, the secondary ones and the inhibitor turrets are now a bit weaker and do give a substantial amount of gold. So you can really chain off of knocking down a couple early turrets here.
What will the choices be for Counterlogic Gaming in there?
Aphromoo
right once they
Bard.
get the second, they do get the Bard and the Kalista locked in for this bottom lane, and they're looking at an Ali Trist so far, so very interesting matchup.
Yeah, Bard puts out a ridiculous amount of damage, and this is 6.1, so he also gets the quality of life, AoE meep attack buff for himself as well. Really, really strong engage here from CLG with Bard plus Lissandra. There's a lot of repositioning that they can do. Kalista ultimate as well. So very versatile CLG lineup here. Not to mention, currently they're mousing over 2 teleports plus a teleport on Rek'Sai for the late game. So a lot of mobility there for CLG.
For sure.
Well, let's see what they can do to manipulate
Lissandra for them as well becomes that flex pick that they can give to Huhi in mid or leave with Darshan up top. So that kind of leaves TSM to think about here in their last few picks. And that is going to be the mid lane and the top lane that we'll be finding. And those are locked in. That's going to be a Mundo and a Twisted Fate here for Bjergsen, game 1.
Twisted Fate.
Map control. You're talking about split
yeah,
pushing.
I'm very curious to see if he goes with the Rod of Ages style Twisted Fate build. Just because Rod of Ages has been so popular due to how efficient it is now compared to the rest of the AP items. It does delay your power a little bit, but man, it does make him a lot more tanky, and he could survive some of this burst if somebody does get locked down by Lissandra. Answering some mobility of Rek'Sai there, as well as you said. Definitely whenever you see Twisted Fate, also, you got to worry about the bottom lane. Kalista, though, always a fairly safe bottom, especially with 2 range champions.
What will Huhi take, or what will Darshan take as we wait for this game to round out? Team SoloMid definitely have quite a fighting team if they want to go for it.
Split push answer.
Jax as well gives a bit more fight to the side of CLG. Jax, as you said, answering the split push as well. And we have both teams locked in, 5 aside.
Yeah, these look very, very strong team comps for both. I mean, both of them have picked up those tools for split pushing, which is really important as far as the map control game is concerned. And both of them also have those teleports, cross-map movement for both of these guys. So should be a very exciting mid-game here once they get into the objective trading. And you're going to have to keep your eyes on any minion wave that does build up, even a double-stacked minion wave, and see what these guys do with it. Because especially now, if you start getting a lead, you really benefit from going to the strong lane and trying to force those into the turrets.
Looks like everybody is ready. I cannot wait. Whole learning experience, a new season to start off to see what all of these teams have been able to do, what kind of roster they've been able to build, and if they really can keep their brand, if something like that can happen, or does that somewhat fizzle out, right? The fans are now sticking with a new team, and all that hope now rides on a new roster. As the teams load up, remember to head over to Twitter and share your predictions with hashtag TSMWin or hashtag CLGWin. We'll tally those up as we get throughout the game. I'd say both pick ban phase went pretty well for each side here.
Yeah, I mean, as we talked about, both these guys with a lot of different tool sets. I really do like Twisted Fate, especially on this patch, because Deep Vision is a lot harder to get with Stealth Wards lasting 30 seconds less and Sightstone only being able to have 3 at a time. So Twisted Fate Ultimate revealing everyone and being able to give you that cross-map pressure is huge. Rek'Sai will do the same for CLG.
Well, we are on the Rift, day 1, week 1, game 1 of the 2016 Spring Split. We got a rematch of the finals of 2015, and it is going to be TSM versus Counter Logic Gaming. Let's see what TSM has in store here as they move 5 towards the top side.
Yeah, let's see about Deep Vision, as we were talking about. Will there be a lane swap here? Will DoubleLift actually go up against Aphromoo with his new partner?
Nah.
Or will they try and swap around here?
He's got eyes on the prize. They know there are a lot of people in this top side, so they're going to do what they can. Get all the vision on the bot here. Should be pretty equal to start off.
All right, so deep wards, pretty standard for both sides. CLG do have exit wards as well, so TSM choosing to recall inside the jungle instead. Way too dangerous for anybody to go in there and check, and it does keep CLG guessing.
Minions have spawned.
They wait. They actually figured they'd see
somebody
come back inside, so TSM wasting a little more time.
It definitely will be the lane swap. CLG are going to try and find them here, as Stixxay and Aphromoo have swapped back up to the top side, and they're waiting till the last second to pass this ward, just out of vision, until TSM have committed their duo lane to the top side. So they are going to be able to find that 2 versus 2 for themselves. And we get to see it.
I like it. This is going to fit the skill, all that practice these teams have been putting in against each other. We did recently hear that TSM hasn't had that much time. All
right, so both junglers are going to take the solo experience from their camps, and the top laners are actually just backing off here. It's interesting, so the way the new jungle items work, you do get extra experience for last hitting one of the large monsters in any of the camps. So you definitely do not want your top laner to last hit the large minion if you're double jungling, because you'll lose out on that extra experience. It's fine if they're just sitting there, though. They will share. They'll just receive a little bit smaller share. The team, though, experience gain will be the same. And top laners can take the small minions, last hit those if they do need.
And look how quick these
gold,
guys
no experience lost.
Just gotten away from the top lane. DoubleLift and YellowStar head back down to the bottom to try and meet with Darshan. And they should actually be able to get this mini wave before missing out on too much. However, Stixxay with that 12 CS up, be able to keep pushing those lanes in.
Yeah, Hauntzer is going to need some backup here. I don't know what TSM are doing with this. It looks like they may send Svenskeren up there. He's going to try and get level 3 first, but he might be a little slow here. This could be too late.
Level 3 Xmithie already. Aphromoo already closed him off. He got Cosmic Binding Hauntzer right against the wall, and he walks out of turret range to give them an easier gank right off the bat. The flash in from Xmithie, and they take down Hauntzer for first blood.
Very, very poor lane swap there from TSM. They send the level 1 Mundo, who didn't absorb experience on any of the double jungling there, into a giant wave plus double pushed up CLG lane. And CLG make the easy call. Darshan is going to be way ahead of Hauntzer here. Not only did he get solo lane experience down bottom, but he also teleported up here, going to get the gold from the turret by himself as well. A giant amount of local gold in there. 220, I think, on the outer ones.
Kobe.
And that is setting up Jax to be a monster split push.
Kobe.
Yes, sir.
It wasn't Dyrus' fault.
It was not. It was Hauntzer. They sent Hauntzer up there all by himself. Even Dr.Mundo, a little baby level 1, nothing he could do.
Unfortunate. Definitely something they're going to have to try and pull back from. We'll learn if TSM can now repair mistakes quickly.
Yeah, that was very, very poor allocation of resources from TSM. And a great capitalization there by CLG. Just teleport in, and Xmithie heading right over. So CLG jump out to a huge lead. CLG, or TSM, do answer the bottom turret and get the gold back even. But you got to keep your eyes on the experience as well. Darshan sitting up in the top lane. I think he's got it frozen. Ooh, actually, it is going to push towards TSM side. So that's good news for Hauntzer. There's an extra minion there on Darshan's side. Now he's just going to try and hard shove it. Back away before the duo gets up there.
Huhi can do here in the middle. Bjergsen obviously coming back. The only one left for Team SoloMid to rebuild here with the rest of the support squad and coaching and staff. And now Huhi, pretty big job in front of him.
Interesting how the duo lane actually heading back bottom again for TSM. They actually don't go up to try and catch that wave that Darshan is pushing. And Svenskeren is jungling on the opposite side, so TSM trying to catch CLG off guard, but they've got 3 people here already. They won't be able to come up with much. Hauntzer going to go try and soak the large wave up top. They want to get him back in the game. They want Mundo to start getting some health stacking and try and get to his level 6.
He's definitely got some miles on his boots, that's for sure. He's just walking back and forth this game. He's going to actually meet that at the second tier turret in the top side from Darshan. Svenskeren is here. If he gets a ward over the wall, he can get the Gromp, but looks like actually Svenskeren won't go for him. So it doesn't need an escape.
Yeah, Darshan, no vision for himself. Split pushing really deep, and here comes Svenskeren.
It's a level 3, level 5. TP in coming from Huhi. They're going to be able to push this one off. 2v2. It's really a 2v1. That's still a level 3 Hauntzer. He cannot do anything in this fight. So far down. That's Twisted Fate. Bjergsen throws down the ulti, but he actually gets locked down towards the mid lane. He didn't expect the Cosmic Binding from Aphromoo, so what a roam there.
Turns around the gank. The confidence there with the teleport mid lane from CLG, and Bjergsen gets interrupted. I'm quite sure Aphromoo landed that. Huge, huge second kill here. Hauntzer at least does get to pick up the experience on this turret. They won't lose out on that minion wave, but again, CLG with a really big early start here, and we are seeing it in action. The communication, the preparation on their lane swap here, the teamwork is really paying off for CLG. Aphromoo, though.
It's going to be a mistake here by Aphromoo. There's the journey. Oh, he gets himself out. Nobody wants to take it. You got to be kidding me.
Woo. Stixxay not level 6 either, so he was just waiting around to watch. Couldn't ult him.
Wow. Hard to use this jump. DoubleLift didn't really have what it took to go in and couldn't ult. He's just off that level 6. What a game so far. Might have had it if they hadn't been spending so much time back and forth in the lanes. But right now, CLG, the story is one step ahead.
Yeah.
What they've been for TSM.
So now at this point, I'm very curious as to how they'll keep up their warding. Here comes YellowStar mid, though, for the Alistar gank. Unsuccessful. Keeping up the warding here because it's really interesting. We're seeing 2 of these ward-dropping jungle items built, both Svenskeren and Xmithie, to try and alleviate some of the... Level 5 Hauntzer.
flash called for Darshan in the top lane. They're going to know that time, just around 12:40, they'll be able to see that flash from Hauntzer again. So you may see more focus up top, but it's not going well for Hauntzer in that lane.
No, it is not. And that, again, is due to TSM's lane swap woes in the early game here.
Well, hopefully, as you were saying, the Tracker's Knife, give them some vision. They can stop their jungle from being overtaken. You're already giving blue to Bjergsen. Hopefully, he can start to put down some pressure. He's been trying to find a lane he can go to, but they keep swapping back and forth.
Yeah, and he is going for that Rod of Ages build I was talking about.
Right.
So right now, doesn't pack a lot of punch when he even uses his early Twisted Fate ultimate. Mostly mana and health being built by him right now. Plus, you add on to that Huhi's running teleport. Xmithie's post-level 6 Rek'Sai also can move across the map to answer if TSM try and make a power play and overload one side. TSM going to have to play a little bit cautiously now. They are by no means out of this game, though. This is very, very early, and it's just the beginnings of the lead here for CLG. TSM very easily can come back into this. Darshan looking to get his Rage Blade competed before he goes for his next back, but he might have to give this up if the rest of CLG do not join in time.
He's got a bit more money to go.
There's that pushing with the big wave we're looking for, trying to deny some of it.
You get a little roam from Bjergsen as well. He could get the gate on this one. It's going to come in right on the side of Darshan. Gold card is out, and they're on to Jax, but he leaps forward. It looks like he gets himself out alive, and they are trying to scrounge up a kill right now, but the kite from CLG is too good.
So TSM are denying this big wave up top, and they'll be able to get the turret, but Stixxay is bottom lane for CLG. So Stixxay is going to answer the turret and continue to push his wave on the bottom side down through TSM territory. That was a very big escape for CLG, as Huhi did not have his teleport up to answer. And TSM unable to find something there with that power play.
Get as many minions down as they can to try and deny what Darshan has been getting in the top side. 57 to 49 right now with 2 assists. And like you said, that bot lane being pushed, CLG had a bit of pressure on mid, but they were able to recuperate, and TSM get themselves back into position. You're talking about Xmithie's tunnels, looking where they are. It doesn't look like any are an aggressive position right now, so CLG is looking to just take these outer turrets, then go with the game. Really textbook right now.
Yeah, let's see if they decide to pick up the first dragon, because we are getting towards the mid game where the 6% does matter. You want that little bonus. If you can shove up your waves and take the dragon without having to give up any pressure, is obviously going to be ideal. But so far, strong defensive vision for both sides. And defensive vision is a thing that people aren't talking that much about on the new season. Everyone's very focused on the fact that green wards were taken out. Pink wards received a significant buff, only 75 gold now.
Oh, good.
There's no excuse not to buy them now.
Always.
For the rest of the team. And you place them along these defensive entrances to the river on your side. It's so difficult for the enemy to try and take them out, because 5 hits is a very long time to stand in dangerous spots.
TSM has like a random amount back here, like the one pink behind pinks.
They'll stay up for a long time.
Over pinking.
Let's see if CLG actually can push with this Rift Herald buff, because that has been one of the things that teams have struggled with. It should be easy for them though, because Darshan is so strong right now. If he can get to his completed Rage Blade, being buffed up by that.
He's sitting on the money, he just hasn't gone back yet.
Herald. Yeah, he's looking for a kill here.
100 right now, but he's got that level up. He's liking that advantage in lane. He's always pushing Hauntzer off with it, and there's just nothing TSM could do about the top side.
So much pressure here from CLG, mid and top right now. They're concentrating their efforts. They're also just waiting for Huhi to push bottom.
Yeah.
They don't have to force anything. They've got the split push going in their favor. If Lissandra down on that bottom side can shove up, and hold on to the teleport, CLG can very easily just maintain this lead.
All TPs are up around the map. Those plays really to be had by CLG here if they're engaged on. They are happy with the lanes they're in currently. It's going to be TSM that has to pay respect to this push in the bot wave. They have the wards to do so across the map, but do they have the resources and people? It looks like they're doing it very slowly.
Yeah, Huhi actually pretty pushed up with fairly little vision coverage. They haven't started switching over no blue trinkets quite yet, which are really strong for split pushing. Because you can ward the own jungle while you're right into split push. But it doesn't matter. They have such an experience advantage. on the map. They're going to be able to take that 6% we are looking for.
So many things kicking into with their core items. That Rage Blade finished now, Dragon finished up. Nice little spikes here for CLG to work their advantage.
All right, for TSM now. If you're looking at it from their perspective, they want DoubleLift to get his crit completed first here for Tristana. They're waiting for Bjergsen's Rod of Ages to stack up and DoubleLift to grab that 2-item power spike before they fight again. So TSM just going to look to hold on to that mid turret as long as they can. Stall it out a bit.
DoubleLift won't go too far over his reach. He gets back. Darshan was looking for a solo kill there. Mid not being taken down just yet here by Team SoloMid. They are definitely scraping to get themselves back in this one. Slowly falling behind. Not in gold, but the map pressure is not in their favor right now.
Yep, gold shouldn't be too bad for them.
Nothing
Completed
too far
items
out of
is
the
what they're
reach.
looking for, though. They do call in the Alistar, threatening the dive. Here's CLG cutting them off.
Slowly coming in. Bard ultimate comes out. This
Darshan!
flank from the back did not work. It took a little too much time. They do find DoubleLift. The DPS is out as everybody kind of takes the journey to a safe side. They lose Huhi in that play. Hauntzer's the front line right now, throwing out cleavers. They say, let's keep going. The gold card was there for Bjergsen. The gate comes out. He gets Stixxay. That's the pulverize. That's the kill. And it was just a little bit away because TSM grabs the rung of that ladder and pulls themselves back into this one. A very crazy play by Sven, but that's how he lives, on the edge. And he's helping the rest of the team get more assists and more cash. 4-4 after that brawl.
Bloody fight right there. And TSM are able to explode Darshan. That Jax with Rage Blade didn't get to even get one stack up for that Rage Blade. He got annihilated. Great combo there from Sven. It's all about Sven landing that cocoon and then DoubleLift coming in to help him blow it up. Even though that bar does land, boom, Darshan gets comboed and he's out of the fight. TSM then able to scrape together here. Even though DoubleLift does get targeted by Huhi, that means Huhi has no defensive ult available and Zhonya is not completed, so he goes down. This is where it gets a little risky. And the flashes are all blown as they go deep for Aphromoo. Sven gets
He's like, man, I wish I could take this tunnel.
All right. Look at that. Gold all even after that scrape in the mid lane. Turrets all even. CLG just up one dragon here.
It was that quick. Had that fight gone in CLG's favor, this fight would just be folding over on itself in favor of them.
And the other thing is that CLG are the ones who initiated that. They expended a very important resource, their teleport on Lissandra, to go for this. Their teleport on Darshan as well. So their map mobility greatly reduced right now. And Bjergsen, when the Twisted Fate ultimate comes up before those teleports, is going to have a slight advantage to try and create a play. All this time, though, DoubleLift starting to get to some crit items here for the Tristana. Farming up very well for himself.
Bit of a CS lead to start. Counterlogic Gaming we saw in the beginning, very aggressive towards the top side. Hauntzer able to keep himself alive after those few plays. He realized he was a target. TSM realized the situation and they started to stave it off. Counterlogic Gaming kind of just waited.
Uh-oh, Huhi.
Weren't able to get much. Now finding themselves in some bad spots as they keep playing the same way. Pushing every lane, but not with enough wards just yet. This could be Svenskeren going down in the trade, though. He misses the last Q. Sven gets out, and DoubleLift picks up the kill.
So you're going to try and close in on this outer turret. Very difficult to go. I mean, YellowStar here defending, though.
Wouldn't you love to get something in the mid lane if you just saw two bot, but you still can't? CLG, they are now scraping to get things here, and TSM's able to hold them off on that mid turret.
Yep, nobody really able to answer Darshan with, again, the second Rift Herald buff for himself. Can't get a lot of damage done here, but he doesn't have the security of deep vision. And, as we said, Twisted Fate ultimate is ready. Darshan has to be very careful here. He does not get collapsed upon.
Should see who he's come up when he comes up. Like you said, Darshan moving back very slow right now. Stixxay not doing too bad for himself this game. On the up and coming from the challenger side of CLG, playing Kalista for game number 1 here of the spring split.
Yep.
So he could use a few more items, but he's sitting on a little bit of gold right now. 1,300 as the team is kind of holding off so they can get those items and then get back into the action. 1 minute onto Dragon. That's definitely going to be top priority.
Things definitely turning towards TSM's favor here, as Bjergsen is almost fully stacked up on the rod. The Infinity Edge finally completed for DoubleLift.
Yeah.
They also have a minute gold lead for themselves. TSM pretty much ready to strike now. Double teleport's all ready for CLG though.
Looks like Aegis duty picked up by Xmithie. Are facing quite a bit of ability power, and it just means Svenskeren looks like he's going to start building up to a Rylai's. Create more catch potential for his team. Where do they decide to go? Top side for CLG here as they're clearing things out, but Dragon here in 10 seconds. It looks like they're just trying to catch TSM off guard, or maybe if they're top, that makes Dragon that much easier. Just the knowledge needed right now for CLG.
They're still trying to crack this outer mid turret. They've been at it for so long. They're finally going to get
There
it
it
here.
is. Now it's Dragon time.
Let's see, because CLG's vision is mostly defensive here, and almost all their blue trinkets are on cooldown. Hauntzer is just coming up, but he's top lane, so they'll give up that second dragon. Second dragon buff doesn't do much. TSM would like to grab that 6% of their first dragon buff, but not worth checking into CLG territory. They don't take the risk.
Taking the long road. It actually becomes the short one as a journey. Good damage as they can somewhat get in and out on this turret, making sure there's no Rek'Sai tunnels that give them a bad positioning here in any fights. Looks like TSM has stopped taking down the mid turret. They're still pinging on it. They think they can pull a few CLG members towards the top side of Raptors here and get that turret down with a few more shots. It looks like it's just going to be a little dance for the camp, and then the turret will fall.
There's that Tristana. Explosive shot on, turret down.
Great timing by YellowStar. It doesn't seem like they want to commit. Somebody pulled off, or he was just doing it for a bit of distraction, so there was no engage from CLG. TSM gets out safely. They start to get everything they want back in this game. 34,000 to 33.5 now as TSM, like you said, start to creep into the lead.
Yep, TSM going to start creeping up, and CLG going to lean a little bit more on their split pusher. They haven't been able to gain too much advantage with Darshan, even with the early lead that he had in the fairly early Rage Blade completion. Team fights are still very risky for him because, as we saw, he's very squishy. He's going double offensive item right now. He does have Merc Treads this time, so the full combo might not lock him down from 100% to 0, but he's got so much to deal with. The Cocoon, the Gold card, and Alistar Bouncer. Difficult for him to stack up the Rage Blade stacks and actually get off his auto attacks. They're going to keep him split pushing. TSM very good with their defensive vision here. So diligent in keeping up their pink wards. Also, constant Raptor smite here from Svenskeren to sweep, even though they only have one sweeper for themselves. The Raptor buff spam is also doing its work.
Interesting to see how they're divvying up actually with their backs, going for far side alteration or the sweeper. Some still hanging on trinkets as it's been that split push game. You want to stay out as long as you can and get the lanes pressured. Hauntzer and Darshan both with teleports up on the bot side, as it's pretty much just staring into the white of the eyes of their enemy here in mid lane. Clear wave back and forth. Oh, he's getting the stacks off now. Darshan going to be leaping back to make sure the minion wave is pushed along with the win of that lane in Hauntzer's HP. YellowStar is trying to be unbreakable right now. It looks like he's doing a great job. Svenskeren gets a little too close for comfort. He's going to go down to the Ignite even in Repel. And Darshan, TP's up first. He's going to try to push off the bottom, but more so get the team ready for Baron.
There's no teleport for Hauntzer, so he would have to walk up. TSM do have pretty decent vision around that Baron, though.
Very close. Counter-Strike is on, but it doesn't get the stun. They, however, are able to get Bjergsen down. A nice hit by Huhi. He puts down the tomb, and that's going to put DoubleLift in one. Hauntzer tries to put himself in the front, but they know CLG's going for Baron now.
That is definitely going to be the Baron for CLG, which should mean secondary turrets going down as well. We'll have to track the Baron power play on this one because that was a huge clean sweep for CLG. All starting with Aphromoo landing that binding onto Svenskeren. This time, Sven didn't get the jump with Elise, didn't get to land his cocoon. CLG are the ones who come out on top. Big swing.
Very scary place to fight, because while you're still close to your team, that side of blue and that side of blue is the easiest way to split yourselves up. And that's how we saw Svenskeren get caught into this.
Yeah, these are all the multiple engage opportunities that we talked about for CLG. Huhi goes in, roots, and then ults himself for massive AoE damage to follow this up. There's just so many things. Bard ult into Kalista ultimate. Able to pick off the rest of TSM. Let's see if TSM can hold here, though, because as of right now, it's just the extra global gold there from Baron and the kills. If TSM can hold, they can try and keep this game even.
DoubleLift's going to have to do a lot of work once these Baroned up minions get to the turrets. Ow, that's not...
Oh! It turns both ways,
what you want to do.
It's all about who lands the stun first. Svenskeren getting revenge on Aphromoo.
Remember this?
Yeah.
So 1.5 minutes.
How you like it?
It's going to be Dragon coming up. TSM wants to get the waves in a very nice position so they can have pressure relieved on the map here. That's going to be a fight to Darshan. This is a lockup for him. On to Bjergsen. This could be very deadly, but he cannot go under the turret. And it's going to be the burning agony in the cleavers. Agony indeed. That's going to be Darshan going down. That's not the first time he's paid for pushing up a little too hard here. CLG is trying to get things back, but in a little too scary of a position.
Yeah, CLG trying to keep the pressure there. They do get a tower for his death, though. Huhi on the bottom side shoves it into the bottom inhibitor turret. And that is one of the most crucial points on the map. If they can really pressure that bottom inhibitor turret, then next time Baron comes up, it forces very, very difficult decisions out of TSM. And we really get to test the shot calling and the new communication of all these guys.
I like how this game is somewhat evened out in kill. Well, it is even in kills, but CS more so between the lanes.
TSM versus CLG almost never disappoints. I don't think we've had a bad one in quite a while.
I like it.
Very, very close game here, back and forth. With multiple cross-map moves by both teams. And multiple 100% for Svenskeren versus Aphromoo.
These are the ones that
who catches the next one.
These are the ones that usually huge pain as a fan, because it's always a mistake that your team makes and not like a really good one the other team makes. And you're like, oh no.
I think it also is sort of a side effect of defensive or offensive vision. I mean, the very deep vision was nerfed across the board because sight wards last 30 seconds shorter for sight zone, and green wards aren't even in the game, so it's hard to keep those up. You have to make your plays a lot quicker after you place that vision.
Yep.
Darshan's gonna trap Hauntzer here, and he's got the rest of his team.
There's a lot of chase to him. Push on the mid lane here by Svenskeren. Doesn't look like he'll get too much off of that.
CLG gonna try and, or
He's
TSM shoving up mid.
DoubleLift towards the top side now. Cosmic binding against the wall. Hauntzer, he's being a distraction right now, and hopefully it works for the team. That's a gate towards mid lane here from Bjergsen. They're going to go hard on the turret, and a second tier mid lane loss for a chase onto the Mundo.
We've seen this exact thing before. Can TSM get the turret, though?
Ooh.
They're trying to trade the life
Xmithie.
of their top laner for a turret take. They aren't able to come away with it, though, and CLG are closing in on top lane.
TSM hasn't gotten that close to this one either. He puts the charge on, but no, he's taking a bit of damage. He just wants to make it look a little bit better. I don't think it's going to help that much. The claw forward. Repel for Bjergsen. Oh no, this does not look good coming in. Svenskeren repels, flashes to the other side. Bjergsen already used his Zanya, so he's gonna be in a fight now. DoubleLift still trying to help him get out. His Buster Shot is up, so he can get somebody pushed away here, but he doesn't want to get close enough. Bjergsen goes down, and CLG keeps pulling themselves back in now.
Ooh, TSM going to try and make the same trade that CLG just made with their top laner, but they were unable to rotate quick enough to the top side of the map. CLG cut them off with this strong, long-range engage. Bard ultimates again from Aphromoo, forcing the fight there. And CLG gonna try and pressure another secondary turret. Dragon is live. That would only be number 3. The extra move speed definitely is showing importance in this game.
It's the tight plays we see that kind of threw TSM off there. Oh, there's the Buster Shot back.
Yeah, Darshan missed his flash stun right there. They pick up Dragon and the turret at the same time, though.
Seems like they got a little flustered themselves, executing so quickly on the second tier turret, saying, oh, everybody's down at the bottom, let's go into the mid lane, and then they actually lost ground themselves.
Yep. Sunk cost fallacy there for TSM. They lost their top laner, and they really wanted to get something back for it.
Yeah.
But you can't let that affect your decision making, and they do get caught out. But remember, death timers are also a lot longer in the new season. So if TSM can win a team fight, they can take back a tremendous amount, as we'll be locked in base for longer. See what CLG can do with this upper hand. 1:30 left on Baron.
Trying to get a pick. Maybe a slow play here. But looks like they'll find the full team of TSM. Not too much is going to happen. You see Huhi actually coming down from the top lane. He will not continue to push that. But they may try to get in on a fight here. Bard ultimate is up, slowly walking back. See if they bait TSM into the second tier turret, maybe get what they want there. But right now, really waiting for a mistake from either side. Coming up on 30 minutes into the game, we are pretty much neck and neck, besides the last fight from CLG, but it doesn't mean TSM is out.
Yeah. Bjergsen has completed his Zhonya's as well, so he can go for the Messiah initiation with his Twisted Fate if they can catch someone on CLG out of position. Right now, though, both teams grouped 5-on-5.
Few items. The last kills have definitely helped Stixxay. He's at 3 items right now. That Mercurial Scimitar and his Hurricane. Spooky Ghosts are out. Is it Hauntzer? Once again, they fight. They've danced this dance before. His ultimate is up if he needs to use it. YellowStar actually thinks he needs to come in. Are they baiting themselves into something here? You can see Bjergsen just on the left, Gates across to make sure that he can help the team and maybe deter CLG a little bit, but they're not deterred very much. That's going to be the Fate's call going in. Huhi very close to going down, and that's a 1-for-1 so far. Xmithie trying to get away now from Hauntzer as we lose YellowStar out of the fight. Team SoloMid still going hard though after they lost the support, and they stand on the steps of their base to go 2-2.
These are some of the most intricate team fights that I've seen in a long time. There's so many defensive cooldowns to be waited out and stasis effects on both sides here. You have to continually think about the re-engage. And right there, CLG thought they had the advantage. TSM turn it right around. Very, very close. Great Bard ultimate there from Aphromoo, tagging DoubleLift and stopping the damage output from the AD carry. But then they got a little bit too far and paid for it. Really, really back and forth. So these are the defensive cooldowns that we're talking about. First is the Mundo ultimate. Then there's going to be the Alistar ultimate. Yep. These are two things. The tank line there, you can't get past it. Huhi comes in. He's got invulnerability as well. Wait that one out. Then Zhonya's. Gold card goes out. Here's the re-engage. And yet, Huhi going really deep again. This time he has no more invulnerabilities. Does get exploded. There's the Zhonya's, even with the flash. We're all out of invulnerabilities now. People start dropping. Aphromoo a little bit too far on the front side there. Just gets tagged. Bjergsen takes him down. But yeah, it makes for these more extended team fights where you constantly have to reevaluate the positioning of both of your or all of your teammates, and keep in mind all of the small cooldowns. That's definitely going to be a good one for VOD review. I'll remember that.
Keep a look on that one.
All right, let's return to the split push here. As the other interesting aspect of the game is that both teams do have strong split pushing tools. Stixxay is racking up himself a nice medallion there. Big killing spree for himself.
You know, the way both of these teams have been working, it kind of is just reminiscent of what we've seen from them. Stixxay, double AD carry, doing well. Darshan still trying to go hard on a carry top laner, and he is delivering the pain. You can see a revolver shot there into the backside of Hauntzer. Slows him down a bit, but it's just for fun. Even
with Hauntzer being 2 levels below before he just leveled up right there, the Thornmail is such a big component in the swing of that matchup that Darshan very, very hesitant to go deep. That combined with the lack of deep vision, seeing as it's very hard to keep that up. They only have 2 blue trinkets. It's very risky for him to try and commit. And either one of those guys going too hard in their duel.
Seeing Aphromoo get some wards down. I think Xmithie there to help if necessary. Aphromoo going for that Mikhail's Crucible first to make sure Stixxay stays safe.
The ultimate down. Darshan might go hard this time.
All the cleavers.
Cleaver spam.
He's trying to keep like 1 minion in front of him and then cleave and then minion, but it's not working.
Poking,
dodge out.
Prodding.
44 seconds onto Dragon. Dragon number 4 here for Counterlogic Gaming, which definitely puts a timer on that den for TSM. They have to start doing something. Right now, those outer ring of second-tier turrets would look mighty fine, especially for some of the gold that they may need here. Now they are down just about 4,000 gold to CLG.
This is a game of inches here. Darshan slowly making his way to TSM territory, but now they get low.
Uh-oh! The flash hop.
Yeah, that Counter-Strike change right there.
There we
Gold
go.
card gets
Yep.
Counter-Striked.
All right, so YellowStar doing what he can. One-man army. Hauntzer comes in with the Bash Brothers. Svenskeren's there. Can he get in close enough? Cosmic Binding. Pretty deep on that one. I'd say max range, if you will. And it looks like they're going to get themselves out alive. 44 seconds for Darshan to come back. And that was a lot of the pressure that helped TSM stop that Baron.
Yeah,
going
they
down.
lost their key component, the split pusher.
Yeah.
Darshan is down. He does have teleport up. 30 seconds left, but the kill means TSM get their outer turret here. They're going to continue the pressure, 25 more seconds.
What a back and forth game, just on a teeter-totter right now. 10-13, 33 and a half in. That turret almost goes down as CLG finally gets a big breath of air that they can blow back onto TSM, but it's not going to last for long. CLG just
7,
getting pushed into their base.
5.
One last shot. Oh my
Is there a
gosh.
deep ward for him to teleport on, though? I think he's just going to run from base with home guard.
Flying out. Oh, the timing, though. The timing. That's when you just sit there and you're clicking ferociously on the gray screen, hoping to come out quicker, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work, Kobe.
Yeah, you click the bottom left corner of your screen.
Come
It's
on.
that camera
Spawn me.
reset. All right, let's see here. This game is so close, coming down to Baron once again here. Let's see who can keep up the vision. CLG actually stacking Dragon number 4 right now.
The TP's there. Great play by CLG. Now TSM has a few things to think about here. And CounterLogic Gaming has a few more things to work with on their plate. Still keeping about a 2,000 gold lead after they lost that inhibitor turret and a bit of mid lane. The second tier, like I said, very helpful for TSM to start knocking down the gold in their pocket. Going to be needed in these fights very soon. Triforce now finished up by Darshan. He's going to be even that much more crazy once they do get to the turrets.
So excited here for a possible 5th Dragon game. CLG actually, the Dragon stacking paying off, seeing a lot less of that now. Still definitely was in effect in Korea. Right now they're going to force something here with another attempt at Baron. 8,000 health right now. CLG staying in there, and they've been seen.
It's going to be extremely hard to clear these waves if they can get it. Oh, what a dodge! Darshan in the blue suede shoes. He actually makes the repel happen from Svenskeren. The attack cannot come in. That's the rend out from Stixxay. Baron goes to CounterLogic Gaming, and TSM does everything they can, and anything they have in their hat, they throw at CLG.
What a dodge right there from Darshan. Looping right around. Svenskeren just half a millisecond off with the timing there as the teleport comes in. Darshan was able to get one click off. That is the difference there between trading Baron for some kills and TSM having to face now the Baroned up Jax. Split pushing menace does benefit greatly with his hybrid nature.
Who's going for now? The Maw?
And man,
Maw?
he is so offensive. Yeah, Ma is
That's him next.
the Hex Drinker is the only semi-defensive item he's got there.
He's been a beast, and he's been persistent as well. He hasn't let getting taken down stop the fact that he's doing it. He stayed consistent in that top lane, and he's always been a nuisance for Team SoloMid this game. And we've seen how much it has paid off so far. Dragons for the team. When the team's doing something else, he's able to grab it, or the team's able to grab it. Turrets this easily, and right now they're just pushing uncontested with that Baron buff on for a
Takes
few more.
its toll, definitely. Now, as always, until you crack into the inhibitors, though, game is up in the air.
Very true. See a lot of those 50-second enders. One last fight means a lot. And with an open inhibitor, that could be an absolute game with one of these fights coming in for CounterLogic Gaming. Run right up the middle here for TSM.
Yeah.
And they could take down those turrets with Tristana very easily.
With these team fights lasting so long due to all the defensive ultimates, really puts a lot of pressure on the AD carries. Keep your eyes on DoubleLift, on Stixxay.
Yep.
The constant damage output is going to be key here. Will Darshan be able to stay alive as well?
Oh. Like, wait for me. Well, he is in the bottom lane right now as we speak about Darshan. The split is happening. It looks like Hauntzer will be able to answer since they're just between mid and bot. It's a very short range for him to go. And the top wave doesn't seem to be really giving them too much love just yet. That's going to be Huhi's job. The 1-3-1 is executed. Let's see what they can do.
Yep. Tristana is one of the better champions for wave clearing here. It's trying to stall against Baron. So DoubleLift is going to try and hold his own here, actually going aggressive. Meanwhile, Hauntzer having trouble.
This could be close. Oh, he already used the gun blade. That's actually the teleport. Oh, okay, so gate for teleport there. Not too much map pressure lost since they're right around the horn, the outside of TSM's base. Very easy mobility here.
Hard
Counter
for
logic
hard.
gaming.
Global for global.
Yeah.
Woo! All right, mid is actually taking a lot of pressure here. These turrets do go down fairly quickly.
Love that back siege minion. All right, so TSM clear out, holding their breath here. The calls are do not die and get back out.
I'm getting Nancy, Riv. I'm getting Nancy. Pull
Shaking the
trigger.
stage.
We see that Bard ultimate on the turret and go for the dive here. All right, slowly chipping away. Stixxay got a couple good ones in there, but Aphromoo gets cocooned.
Should be all right. The journey goes out.
No commitment.
Fine. I like what Darshan has done. I approve. I'm usually a guy who keeps that trinket as well. You keep two wards, one that can't be cleared out, the far side alteration, so he can keep himself on that split push and keep some wards up that are invisible.
They still are working on the balance between blue greater than red, greater than yellow, greater than blue. With 6.1 new changes in here, buffing up those yellow trinket late games, so you can spam the wards a lot more often.
Yeah.
It's still dangerous to go complete them though, because the duration doesn't increase past that 2-minute mark. So even though you get to place a bunch of wards, you still have to go into dangerous territory
it gets scary.
and actually move to reset. TSM though, they were able to hold on and wave clear the entire Baron buff here from CLG.
Didn't even lose that turret. Very nicely done.
No vision, just run straight up middle here.
Take
Darshan actually split push. This is going to be a split push race here. Oh, Hauntzer goes back to try and stop him.
Yeah, he is back. Not going to be too much trouble in that sense.
But
we saw that fight. We've seen that fight happen. It's Darshan that's been winning it. Svenskeren very low. Bjergsen walks up to melee range. Svenskeren goes down. Bjergsen's forced to flash out. It's a gold card that comes out, gets Xmithie in the tunneling process, and that's going to be Bjergsen going down. Aphromoo just wasted Cosmic Binding backwards when he had Bjergsen on the wall.
Darshan cutting them
allows them to leave now. Darshan, he's going to be the one to come out. He waits, flashes, and counter-strikes from across the wall. Hauntzer's now the target. Bjergsen says, I'm out of here, bro. And Hauntzer might be able to make it out with all the crowd control reduction, but I don't know. It's going to be a hell of a run. He does it. Get out. He does get out, rather, and it's going to be 5th Dragon now. CLG are knocking on the door with sledgehammers. 5th Dragon and even more, and have yet to crack the base of Team SoloMid. Is this now the time they do it?
First game right out of the gate here, Riv. We've got a 5th Dragon. Oh, Ghost finds Hauntzer.
That's
Who's
spooky.
haunted now?
I wouldn't do this. Oh, but they're gonna. That's the Cosmic Binding against the wall. Hauntzer very low. The ultimate not up just yet, and they finally take down the raid boss.
Betrayed by his own kind, and now it's just Bjergsen, Team SoloMid. Svenskeren revives to try and help him, but this is a Dragon 5, 4 members of CLG. They're at least going to get this turret.
Breathing fire right now.
Oh no, YellowStar joins the fray.
It's good. Ultimate's up for YellowStar, so he can go crazy if he wants to. The hand of Huhi keeps TSM at bay as they go for the first inhibitor on this side. And that's the first inhibitor of this game. 41.5. CLG actually break TSM's base first after they lose the inhib.
I always get the longest games of North American LCS Riv, even in the new season where they are a couple minutes shorter. All right, double binding right there. YellowStar ults and flashes over to get Stixxay though. But man, Huhi annihilates Svenskeren. And then Bjergsen and DoubleLift are able to kite back. Really the story though is that bottom lane fight. Hauntzer teleports up, so he shows really early. And TSM feel confident and that they can get away, but Darshan cuts them off, waits in the fog of war. Flash, jump, auto. Counter-Strike.
I just kind of imagine Darshan like 007 there with his shoulder on the corner, looking around the corner.
And then he got a little impatient. He's like, hey, I'm out of here.
I gotta go now.
Leap strike flash.
Fantastic job so far here by both teams, just chomping at the bit, getting what they can in every play. And CounterLogic Gaming has finally found a few steps up with an advantage.
CLG have been all over the neutral objectives this game.
That's true. Fifth Dragon does not lie. Big gold lead as well. 8,000 now in favor.
TSM staying active, though. They're staying proactive. They continually shove up to pressure CLG. They don't want to give the open map to CLG because there's so much that they could take. CLG trying to split push down bottom once again, though, this time with Huhi. And TSM trying to back off now. They've actually switched here. Both teleports are up again. Darshan and Huhi could try and cut them off. They're going to be able to get that outer turret, but TSM are going to go for the smite fight here.
Oh, man.
Does Xmithie even go in? Yes, they're teleporting.
The 50-50 ball is in the air. It will not come down. The Baron will heal back up. What a fight. Straight into the middle. Fate's Call and the rest used on TSM. And they have a hell of a lot of crowd control to work through here. YellowStar goes down. That's Huhi that gets taken down as well by DoubleLift. DoubleLift going hard on this one. Darshan tries to come back in. Slaps him on the head with the lamp pole. Double gets a double kill, but he also goes down.
Stixxay got off so many autos that fight, with the Runons procking on everyone, and CLG runs straight for the game here. Once again, it's Bjergsen versus CLG. Can he do it? Three members.
Very fitting.
I don't know.
The last member standing of the original team. The original squad that has played the last few years, I should say, but it looks like it is a done deal. It looks like CounterLogic Gaming could put the final nail in the coffin here for Game 1, Week 1 of the Spring Split. Bjergsen goes down, and CounterLogic Gaming are gonna take the game over TSM. What a fantastic game all around. Back and forth for both teams, giving their heart out. Didn't seem like we saw any particular strategies that anyone was trying. Definitely a very level-headed game from both teams there, and it showed through and through. But I think you made one very big point there at the end there, Kobe, was the neutral objective control of CounterLogic Gaming. By and far, just kind of carried this game for them.
Yeah, their teamwork really did show. You know, they are talking it up as their biggest strength, and it showed. They won the lane swap, they won control of the neutral objectives, and they won a 44-minute game slugfest with TSM.